Hi, this is Charles from Dr. Bean's Coffee. We're going to teach you today how to make Chemex coffee at home just like you have it in our shop. So the first you'll need a Chemex, you'll need 40 grams of coffee, you need a grinder, and you'll need some hot water. Fairly simple as it goes. So we'll zero out our scale, we'll add our beans to the hand grinder, pop the top on and start cranking away. Thank goodness for magic of TV. We can skip that part here. You'll wet your filter just slightly so you don't have that little paper flavor to it. Dump that part out. And then you're ready to add the beans. So the brew time on this should be about between 4.5 to 5 minutes. You've basically got a good little guardrail of what you'd need. So you'll take your water about 204 degrees, and we added 40 grams of coffee. So we're going to add 80 grams of hot water for our first batch. And we're going to let this bloom. So this is the bloom stage. So we'll take this for about 45 seconds. A good timer is always a perfect thing. But this is the part where you can really smell the coffee and the aromas of the flavors that you're going to get, and you're really letting that start to absorb the water. As that little bloom starts to settle down a little bit, then you'll go with your next shot. So we're doing a 15-to-1 ratio, so we'll finish up with about 600 grams of water. And we'll start our second pour in small little concentric circles, working your way out to the edge. We're going to do about 120 grams here. So now we're at 200 grams and we have just 3 more pulses to do. And basically the goal is not to allow your bed to start to concave in it. That's going to give you an uneven extraction in your coffee. So keep it as balanced and as level as you can. The flatter your bed at the end means that your coffee has absorbed all of the water, and that you haven't left anything high and dry that doesn't get the fun. So now we're going to go to about 100 gram pulses until we find the end. And just small little circles working from the inside to the outside. And what you'll notice on the top of your Chemex as you start to build your bed, you're going to start to get a little layer of water on here, and that's going to start working its way down. So it's actually pressing on top of your coffee and filtering through like a beautiful drip down to the center. So each time you start to see the bed weaken, you'll add a little bit more of your 100 grams of water. And if you can find peace in your day, this is the best way to start it. It's a little cathartic because you have to pay really close attention to what you're doing, but it's a good time to just be slow and precise and slow down the day and put it in neutral for a little bit while you're making a cup of coffee that's going to keep you going. 2 more shots here and then we'll be done and ready to go. So for the last couple, I've started on the outside and started working my way in just to make sure anything that's high and dry on the edges is going to come on down. And so Chemex was made in the 1950s. It was done by chemists in their lab. They were basically using their beakers to help them make their coffee. They had a glass blower friend that sort of helped add that to it, but it's basically just a coffee maker with that, you're the drip, you're the machinery that makes your coffee. So it's a very simple and unique way to do it, but with the thick filter, it gives you a really beautifully clean cup and a wonderful cup of coffee for sharing. This is our last one of the day. 600 grams, and now we're basically just going to let water do its trick as it slowly, surely works its way through the beans. If you do notice at the end that you're getting a little bit of high and dries, You can take your Chemex and give it just a little bit of a swirl. That's going to settle everything down. Take it off your scale now. Put those things away. And as it finishes up, it's just going to settle in. If you don't have a scale at home, you'll aim for this little belly button. So 40 grams of coffee and about 600 is going to get to this little button on the bottom. So even if you don't have a scale, just try to balance yourself with that and just take a few minutes to get everything done. And then you're ready to start drinking coffee. One little final swirl. And now we're done. I'm going to pop our filter out. And give us a nice cup of coffee. Cheers.